Okay. What is up, everyone? How we doing? It's Thomas with Real Broker here in St. Augustine, coming at you live almost every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I first off want to apologize to all my diligent live stream watchers, all my followers out there. I have missed the past 3 weeks, and I definitely have some excuses. I bought a house, I went to a wedding, I was sick last week. And also, we're turning over our townhome now, trying to get that rent ready as we're transitioning over here to our new spot. As you can see, I'm running pretty bare bones here. We haven't unpacked the office yet. Still, between helping clients buy and sell homes here in the area, and between me buying a house, between me being sick and going to a wedding, I've been inundated. We also added a VA to our system here, which I had to hire one, fire one, hire one, and he's rocking right now. So, man, this is just looking so bummy compared to my normal setup, and I'm going to figure something out really, really cool here, but hope you guys can bear with me until I do that. I don't know, maybe I can throw in a little accent lighting or something. I don't know if I got anything in my bag of tricks back here. I don't think easy accessible. I thought I had it up top here. Maybe I had like a light or something, but I don't. So, hey, we're just going to stick with me, guys, on the show today. And we'll go through everything like we always do, just a little bit different. I'm going to have to bend over and get to my laptop here because I don't have my studio set up, but it's coming in the next couple of weeks, and I'll try not to miss these again. I appreciate you guys being here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with me. Let's dive in. Let's go right to it. I'm going to share my screen here. And boop, 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 boop. Now we got some good things here. I mean, I was going back and forth if I should do this every week or if I should do this every other. What the heck's going on here? Okay, if I should do this every other week, just because it's not like the city of St. Augustine has a whole lot going on all the time that you really need to stay up to date on that changes your daily life. But I think I'm going to stick with the weekly. Let's take a look at the stats, right, guys? We do that at the beginning of every show. The last time I was on here, that number of total listings in our area was around 5,300 homes. We're now at 5,600. That's honestly, we are looking for more inventory in our area. We're really sitting at about 2.5 months of homes available. So our inventory hasn't even gotten close to what it was pre-pandemic. And we've started to actually go down. But now we're starting to see a little tick back up. 5,600 is more than we've seen in a long time. So that's a good sign, but we're already starting summer here, guys. I was thinking that number would be above 6, and hopefully we'd see some relief, some more negotiations for the buyers. And unfortunately, that really hasn't happened too much. Of course, demand with interest rates has changed. Of course, it's not the same that it was when you can get an interest rate at 3%, but there's still people out there buying homes because if you're seeing our inventory, it really hasn't budged at all. Which is pretty crazy, but also if it makes you feel any better, I just bought a house close 2 weeks ago, and I don't recommend renting out your townhome because it's been nothing but an absolute hassle getting that ready. I joked to my wife, I'm like, hey, what do you think about selling it? What do you think about that? So let's take a look here at the past week of what's happened here. And typically this goes week to week when I'm on it every single week, but I have not been. So new listings to closed listings. So we got 1,087 new listings, 879 closed listings. So let's say that's going to be for every 10 homes coming on the market, 8 are going off of the market. So 2 are sitting back, and probably those 2 are sitting back and they're going to be changing their price. We're seeing 1,189 price changes to 1,087. So pretty much out of every 11 homes, 10 of them are changing their prices. And for the most part, 8 are going under contract, 2 are hanging out, right? And then you see new listings to pending. We have 970 pending and contingent taking backup. We're going to group contingent taking backup and pending together because that means under contract, right? A buyer and a seller have come to terms and they are under contract. So really, we're at 1,087 new listings, 970 pending, 453. So let's just say for easy math, we're at roughly 1,500, so 1,100 to 1,500 homes. So we're having more homes go off of the market than we are having come to the market. And back on market, we're seeing 327. So that kind of makes up that difference there. So they didn't get through their contingencies. They're coming back to the market for whatever reason. If it wasn't because of the inspection, maybe it was a mortgage issue, they couldn't qualify, or an appraisal issue. So those are typically the reasons that people are able to come back or back on the market. Deals fall apart. So if you guys do have any questions about the market or anything and what's going on here, we answer it every Wednesday. We do a live Q&A here. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. If you're watching it live, make sure to leave those comments below. We'll go ahead and head to the next news story here, guys. I appreciate you being here. We got 2 legends watching right now. I appreciate you guys. Any questions, just let me know. I'm going to share my screen, get on to the first news story, which it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies, but this happens everywhere, right? So let's see here. We've got a woman gave St. Johns County contractor $70,000 for an outdoor project that was never finished, and he was just arrested. So he's apparently known to be doing this in multiple areas, committing contractor fraud, pretending to have a license, and also taking large deposits and not doing any of the work. So they did 20% initially, was about $29,000, and then he came back and asked for 50% of the project, which came up to $43,000. So they've given him $72,000, and he started the work, and then the county came by, put a stop order on it because he didn't pull a permit, and then they also found out that he wasn't licensed. So these people ended up going after him because they're like, listen, we don't want to bring the law into it, but we kind of had to. And, you know, guys, that is definitely something to be aware of when you're getting work done in your home. Make sure that you have a referral from someone. If it's not your trusted real estate professional, a friend, someone in the neighborhood that's had the work done before, because though you may be trying to interview people and figure out what the best price is, and you know, kind of price match people and figure out, make sure you're not getting screwed, right? But that is definitely something that you don't want happening to you, because I mean, yeah, he's probably in jail now and he's not going to get out for a while, but in terms of getting your money back, I don't know how that's going to look for you. That's going to be a long time. So please make sure you vet these people. Ask if they have business insurance. Make sure that you're doing the right things to protect yourself in these situations. Deposit wise, they pretty much say a good rule of thumb is a third to begin, a third at 50% completion, and then a third for completion. So just a good rule of thumb for you if you are doing any work that you should stick to for most contractors here in the area. Man, the lighting's awful. It's up lighting. I look like I'm 95. Great. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I hope you're having a great night. Like I said, if you have any comments or questions about what we're covering here today, here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. or I try to be every Wednesday. I've only missed 4 in the past 2 years, so I think that's pretty good, but 3 of them were in the past month. So I'm not doing great the past month, but we are working on a whole bunch of different other things, guys. So let's take a look at this. This is something that I think is really important if you're looking to buy in an area that you're not familiar with at all. It's so important to get familiar with the neighborhood and spend some time in the neighborhood, walk around the neighborhood, and see if you're comfortable. I just had someone call me today. They bought a house in West Augustine and they weren't aware of kind of the trash and everything that's around their property, and they walked it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is actually way worse than we thought it was. And they called me just kind of and I didn't help them buy or sell or anything, but they just wanted my opinion on things. And you know, you need to spend time in the neighborhood that you're thinking about buying. It's an investment for you, you know, in the long term as well as the short term. But this is a prime example of that. These people they've lived here for a while, and this place has been here for a while. This is a composting place. So this lady is touching the dirt. She's going to smell the dirt. She works for that compost place, Indian Head Biomass Services. It's been there for a while, but all of a sudden this odor started, and they thought it was their septic tank. They had it checked out, and it wasn't their septic tank. So the news came out, checked it out. She lives off of Carter Road and County Road 214. So if you didn't see the Indian Head Biomass, I did pull it up here just so you have a good idea of where she is. Now, water filtration plants, biomass facilities like this, it's part of living. It's one of those things that we kind of have to deal with, right? So human waste is taken over there and they turn it into dirt. And that's why it stinks, right? So initially when the waste does get in there, it smells pretty bad, but they turn it into dirt. And that's why that lady was so comfortable showing off their products, smelling it, putting it in her face. I don't know if I'd ever do that with that type of dirt if I knew it was coming from human feces, but that's what people do, trying to sell the product. But that is something to be aware of, right? That there is a good odor over there because of that treatment facility plant. So if you are looking to buy, it does come through the air sometimes. And if you're by a water treatment facility, sometimes that happens as well. It's a lot of the chemicals and everything. You're going to smell it. So she actually described this as something that like infiltrated her lungs. And if you watch that video on there, it's actually pretty funny because the reporter was like, it does smell pretty bad here. She's like, I'm not trying to run away or anything. It does smell bad. It's not like hurting my lungs, but it does smell bad. And the other person was standing there. She was like, it smells like dirt. And I thought it was kind of funny because it's just like she's probably nose blind to what it smells like in that area because she's around it all the time. But either way, really important to research the neighborhoods you guys are looking into, spending time in that neighborhood. I really recommend walking, just getting out, walking, seeing if you like it, just taking most people want to drive through and get the quick fix of, okay, this is cool. But really just take a walk through the neighborhood, take an hour of your day and just see if there's, if it's the area you like, see if you could envision yourself living there. And then also if you look around, see if you like things and make sure that you're comfortable with it as well. So that's the most important thing. I mean, as a realtor, I work with a ton of people relocating, and there's only so much that I can do in order to paint that picture for you guys. And I typically give everyone homework, like, hey, these are the neighborhoods that you need to check out and be comfortable with. Because if while you're down here, you get to check that out, and maybe we don't find the perfect house for you, that's okay. At least you are then educated about the neighborhoods that you want to move forward on. Let's go on to the next one, guys. I didn't bring something to drink. I'm out of my system here, guys. I really am. If you see, my office is behind me. I swear it looks better most of the time. So if you are tuning in, you're new to the show, I swear I do have it a pretty nice setup when it gets ready. But as of right now, we're running on bare bones just to make sure that we get the information out there. Now, this is big, guys. I've been talking about World Golf Village and it being kind of having an identity crisis, and I think they're going to solve it through just putting businesses over there. So I talked about this, I think a couple weeks ago about Outdoor World going over there, but they're going to add Home Depot as well. And then Fields Auto Group, which is going to be they haven't specified yet, but a high-end luxury car dealership. So they're not saying what cars are going to be there, what makes and models, but they say it's going to be high-end luxury along with everything else that's over there. So Costco within the past year, Buc-ee's within the past year. Then they're going to add the Bass Pro in the next couple, probably by 2024, and then Home Depot and then Fields. So that whole area of World Commerce Center is going to expand. It's growing like crazy. And I imagine even more so on the east side of International Golf Parkway, which is where this is located off of. It's right by I-95 and International Golf Parkway. That will also expand as well. If you're familiar with that area, that's going to be like Parkland Preserve, and then oh my gosh, Bannon Lakes, I think is over. Bannon Lakes is over there. Yes. So both of those are great little communities. And we're just going to see more growth there, guys. I think if you look at the map, World Commerce Center owns that entire area. There is a large piece of parcel. I'll bring it up here real quick just because I'm on the map anyway. So this is the area that we're talking about here, guys. And I'm going to put it on. World Commerce Center owns all of this vacant land right in this little pocket. I imagine they own all of this as well, right around this Costco. So they have the Costco isn't even showing on the map yet. This is where the Buc-ee's is. So they're talking about putting, I believe, the Bass Pro Shops on this parcel right here, if I remember correctly. And I imagine Home Depot will go on one of these parcels over here. So it looks like they have room to add a couple more businesses, if they put like a super Target over there, I think that would go off. That'd be awesome. But we'll see. But that area is growing, and that growth, the one thing that is really interesting in terms of the growth, a lot of the new construction, maybe you've noticed, is that a lot of the new construction, and I'm sorry, I'll share my screen here one more time for you. A lot of the new construction here in our area is in the northern part of St. Johns County. Now, that's for a number of reasons. Pretty much everything out there is new, brand new schools, but also you're in between Jacksonville and St. Johns County. So let me go back to this map here. So I'll just outline this. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. What's going on here? All right. Boom. All right, so when you outline St. Johns County like this, let's see if I can zoom in just slightly over here. If you can see that red line there, this is St. Johns County. North of us is Duval County. Now, most of the development is going to be north of 16 right here. The majority of the development, I can only think of like maybe 3 or 4 developments that, all right, maybe 5 that are south of 16. All the other development is going to be in northern St. Johns County. So we're starting to see that development grow more and more around the southern part of that northern part, right, of St. Johns County. So really, IGP is right here, right next to State Road 16. And this is 95. This is where we're talking about, guys. All right here is where this development is happening. And as you can see, there's really no other, it's pretty rural outside on the west side of 95. Aside from, and then you look at downtown St. Augustine South, that's really the other developed area. We're not seeing as much development down there as we are over there. I think with this over here, that's going to bring so much more, it's going to bring a whole bunch of other jobs in the area too, which are going to pay so, right? They're not going to be amazing jobs, they are what they are. But they're going to bring more work to the area, right? Which is always good. And then also, I think it's going to spur more development in residential further south, which also will lead to cheaper new construction prices. If you're looking for cheaper new construction, you can check out St. Augustine Lakes, that's on 16, Ravenswood Village, which is by D.R. Horton, that's on 16. LGI and D.R. Horton are over in Morgan's Cove. I think they might be all sold out for D.R. Horton. And then Sabal Estates as well, KB Homes. Oh, and then Seasons of Murata, that's also another one. But they do contract to build. So you're going to be building at least 8 to 12 months out with them. So either way, guys, let's go on to the next news story here. Let's see here and share my screen. Okay. All right, so this was a big news story. If you're on the Facebook group for St. Augustine News, you've probably saw this, and it was like a little joke post because here's the secret to snagging a table at the Busy Caps on the Water restaurant in St. Augustine. And they made it like a post that doesn't necessarily have an answer, and it's just kind of being informative that there's always a wait at this place. We went on Sunday. We had a friend in town from Dallas, Texas, and she wanted to get some good seafood. She wanted to sit on the water. Caps is like the best place to go. It has one of the best views. You get the airplanes at the Northeastern Florida Regional Airport coming in with the sun coming down right behind them. Truly beautiful. The food is great. It's not like the best of the best in the world, but it's all great seafood. I mean, it's fantastic. It's all fantastic food. I'm not saying it's like 9 out of 10, not 10 out of 10, I would say. But it's so popular here in St. Augustine now. Like we pulled up on Sunday, it was raining, and that forced a lot of people inside. But even still, the whole parking lot was full. For us to get a table for 3, it was going to be a 30-minute wait till we could wait inside. So we had to wait in our car till 30 minutes, then get inside. And then it was going to be an 1.5 to 2 hour wait to get a table for the night there. So if you're looking at the screen here, here's the secret to snagging a table at Busy Caps on the Water. I'll save you the time from reading the article. It's getting there an hour early before they open up. That's it. You want to get sunset during the summer, you got to show up an hour early. And this is like, and I promise you, this is one of the best restaurants in St. Augustine in terms, I've worked in the service industry before, in terms of a well-oiled machine. these guys crank it out. It's a really, really well-run restaurant. So either way, we'll go on to the next news story, guys. Share my screen here one more time. We're rolling through it. So if you do have any questions, you're watching the live stream replay, you're watching it live, go ahead. Man, I'm rusty. Go ahead and leave me some comments below, some questions, and we will get to them. Let's see here. All right. This is going to be the last one here, guys. So if you do have any questions, comments, leave them below. I got to finish working on my office, which I'm just going to get off this. I'm not working tonight. But either way, developers get okay to build fewer workforce houses per project in St. Johns County. Now, it's something that we've talked about before. They're reducing the amount of workforce zone from 40% to 30%. This was a recommendation from the Northeastern Florida Association of Home Builders in order to incentivize more builders to build more properties with affordable housing attached to it, or workforce housing. So they lowered that from 40% to 30%. At the same time, they also raised the price of what you would consider these homes to be sold at, what you would consider them to be affordable housing, which is now at, I believe it's $260,000 if I read the article correctly. Yep. So it went from $240,000 to $260,000 for the workforce housing here in St. Johns County, which I don't know. I think we got to do something to incentivize these builders if it's not something through taxes. And money is always a good incentivizer, right? So if they're going to get more on purchase price, they're able to build less homes, less affordable houses, but they're able to actually build them at a rate and they're incentivized to build them. Is a double-edged sword, right, guys? What's the right thing to do there? We all know that building costs have gone up and they came back down, but prices haven't gone anywhere, right? That's because the market determines the value. So I don't know if that's a good idea, if it's a bad idea. I think what I'm going to start doing, and I've got 20 projects in my head, but what I think I'm going to start doing is researching what other places are doing for affordable housing and seeing how I might be able to pitch or present the best option for affordable housing here in St. Johns County from an outsider's perspective. You know, I'm not part of the county government or anything. I work as a realtor and I have an invested interest in St. Augustine growing, right? So I think one of the best ways to take care of everyone here, right? Affordable housing is something that we need. And I know of some really cool things that are going on nationally, such as Lennar's partnership with Tesla. I think out in Austin, they're building a home together to build affordable housing for people in that area. And even if you've heard of Boxable, very similar to a modular style home where it's built somewhere else and it comes to the site. Well, the Boxable is essentially the same thing, a modular style home where it comes to site, it folds into place, and you pretty much have a fully working plumbing, everything set up right there, very easy, and they're building them at very low cost. Okay, great. Sorry, I thought my computer restarted on me, guys. John, appreciate you. Appreciate you. I'm sure you guys are all enjoying my beautiful setup here. Getting things ready, moving is a pain, but we're looking forward to getting back after these live streams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Gonna have this set up. I don't have anywhere to put my mountain bikes, so I think I'm gonna make that part of my background here somehow. I don't even know if this is where my setup is going to be. I'm gonna figure it out. We gotta feng shui the room and figure out where everything goes. But guys, I appreciate you being here tonight. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., we're going over the market stats, the local news that you need to know about, think about buying, selling, or investing here in St. Augustine. And we're doing a Q&A. So if you're watching it live, you're watching the replay, drop the comments below. I do come back and try to answer those comments. Man, I'm off it. But guys, I appreciate you being here tonight. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.